I'd like to introduce you to the candidates who were nominated by the class rank to represent them in this year's homecoming tour. From the freshman class, Miss Erica Bonner, daughter of Tisha Bonner, escorted by Mr. Cameron Stelp, son of Donnie Stelp and Teresa Stelp. Miss Mackenzie Pugh, daughter of Chris and Jennifer Pugh, escorted by Mr. Wilson Lowry, Jack, son of Jack and Rachel Lowry. Miss Victoria Sharp, daughter of Rodney and Sherry Sharp, escorted by Mr. Jalen Jones, son of Leon Jones and Paulette Jones. Miss Bailey Webb, daughter of Jeff Webb and Amy Webb, escorted by Mr. Chase Castellan, son of Tim and Regina Castellan. From the sophomore class, Miss Julie Brewer, daughter of Billy and Yvonne Howard, escorted by Mr. Gavin Carter, son of Nathan and Amber Carter. Miss Regina Hayes, daughter of Charles and Sharnina Hayes, escorted by Mr. Dallas O'Neill, son of Henry O'Neill and Rhonda O'Neill.
They fell on my head.
Miss Kayla McHale, daughter of Mark and Tracy Delancey, escorted by Mr. Taylor Ellison, son of Erica Ellison. From the junior class, Miss Kaylin Knight, daughter of Carl and Lisa Knight, escorted by Mr. Jonathan Macklin, son of Brent and Terry Macklin. Miss Rebecca Lee, daughter of Robert Lee and Nisha Bennett, escorted by Mr. Royce Denson. Host parents are Marsha daughter of Eric and Tricia Nelson and Julie Kenneth, escorted by Mr. Dylan Smith, son of Christopher Carnell and Brandy Carnell. Miss Morgan Petty, daughter of Tina Jones, escorted by Mr. Colin Hall, son of Freddie Hall and Wanda Hall.
And bring him in here.
Alicia!
Yeah.
Mickey, come with me here.
From the senior class, Miss Dallas Davis, daughter of Kevin and Sheila Davis, escorted by Mr. James Dillon, son of James Dillon and Chess Dillon. Miss Ronisha Lee, daughter of Robert Lee and Nisha Eddings, escorted by Mr. Jonathan Stark, son of Jerry Stark and Elizabeth Stark. Miss Taylor Patterson, daughter of Aaron and Rachela Patterson, escorted by Mr. Tony Moss, son of Kelly Dees. Miss Jessie Collins, daughter of Chris and Janet Collins, escorted by Mr. Josh Lawrence, son of Wayne and Carrie Lawrence. During the week, the 4 individual classes have been able to earn points by participating in a talent show, competitive events, ball decorations, ticket sales, candy sales, a football game, and pep rally. The class earning the most points will have its class queen crown the homecoming queen here tonight. The success of this week's event depends on the leadership of the student council, the support of the community, the students, and the staff of Munford High School. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present our 2011 homecoming queen, Miss Vanessa Smith, escorted by our superintendent, Dr. William Bill. Ms. Smith and Dr. Bill, accompanied by Jordan Hyland and Aaron Snake, will crown our queen in the court tonight. And now for the final results. Third alternate, with 820 points from the freshman class, is Miss Mackenzie Hughes.
You weren't sitting down, you were standing behind her.
Ada, come on.
2024 class is Miss Julie Brewer. The 2012 homecoming queen with 2,270 points from the senior class is Miss Dallas Davis. Congratulations to the senior class and the Queen Dallas. And now hope you enjoy the game between the mighty Munford Cougars and the Memphis Cougars. Their class is running a little late, but we will start a little later.
Anyway, that's good.
Dude, y'all are on there.
It's just one time I have to get there.
Where was playing? Is there a play?
Look at that.
This one is funny. I gotta use
Everyone said bird.
Okay, it's on me now. Matthew.
You got it? Get it for free. Hey, friend, so good. From who, Tommy? From the black people. Are they black or white? Are they black? Who? Hey, let's just make up names. Let's do this. AJ Huff. AJ full-time tackle. There you go. Do this, hey, let's do it. Yeah, John Holmes. Quarterback. The star receivers, Ryan Jerry, Calvin Johnson. Cameron Johnson. Michael Johnson. Another now. This is gonna be fun. Wide receiver. You know who that is, right? Who's the ball guy? The really nice player. Dude, what's his name? I don't know. Nick something. Nick Steele. Nick Steele. Nick Steele. C12. I'm telling you, listen to that. It's still enough to play. Yeah, there's a guy behind that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a guy at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now I count 14. We cannot do it with one. Because y'all are not seeing people behind them. I counted 13 that time. Yeah, 13. We'll see when we're on the field. Actually, I hope nobody listens to this podcast. Dude, John's mom's here. Dude, we're making up names. Hey, we're making up names for every team. What is it? Percy Hartman. Dude, this dude. Hey, where's Miss Linda? When are we gonna watch these? See, bro. When are we gonna watch these? Right there. See where the other girl standing there. You see Kirk? And then his dad.
Oh, it was
His dad is here. I know. Where's Kirk at? He's standing right there. Yeah, right there. Honey Kirk. Honey Kirk, don't give up. Crap. cross country.
Yeah, the worst one. Yeah, they used to there.
Dude, I cannot see their numbers. Ready? Hello everybody, I'm Brendan Young alongside with Tommy Smith, and we're here on homecoming night for the Munford Cougars as the Memphis Northside Cougars are taking on the Munford Cougars. As captains for the night is Matt Owens, John LeGregan, and Ethan Kirklar for the Cougars. And for Memphis Northside is Ron Jeremy, John Holmes, and Percy Harvin.
He got on the court. Somebody getting punished. Hey, look at the
Who won? Who won the homecoming?
He did by 600 some points.
That would be one girl. That's good.
Cougars will be featured on the show today.
Oh, how are you? You're well? You mean you're well?
Okay.
Hey, Brandon, are you playing golf tomorrow?
I'm not.
Dude, I'm playing tomorrow and I was hitting my yard hitting it. And like I tried to drive it and like went straight into the ground. And then like for the first time it was straight up in the air. But I got the picture where I was hitting like 20 feet like from everything I was trying to hit. I was like, why can't I drive the ball? Are you gonna be up there tomorrow?
I don't know. 6:30. Are you going up there?
You think it's 6:30?
Yeah. I'm bringing it. Send her to my house today. So Tyler Gray will kick off for Munford to start the game. Back to return is Holmes and Jeremy. So Tommy, the Cougars are going to win tonight. That's what we know for sure, right?
Well, they're favored in this game by 21 points, so they should win this game. But
what I'm saying is both teams are the Cougars.
Northside has some weapons. Jason Statham is a very big weapon over there. Got some speed. So we'll have to see tonight, though. It'll be a good game.
But what I was saying is both teams are the Cougars, so we know for sure that the Cougars are going to win the game.
You know, I did not catch that, but I guess you're right, yeah.
Meanwhile, the kickoff return was muffed and recovered at the 15-yard line. So that is where John Holmes and company will set up. We got the pistol. Holmes throws over. He's got a man. That pass is caught and knocked out of bounds.
Good timing by Holmes and Johnson on the play. Calvin Johnson threw a catch, a gain of about 11 yards, be a first down. Northside's not your typical team, Brendan. They have 13 players on their team, as you can see. Or 14 players, excuse me.
Looks like they tried the same play and nothing doing there. The pass was intended for Calvin Johnson again.
So that pass is completed to Johnson again. And he's close to a first down.
Gain of 6 on the play, 3rd and 4 for the Cougars of Northside.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Cougars.
There you are.
Holmes gets the snap, drops the throw, and he's got a man. That's complete to Calvin Johnson again. He's got another first down. Everything seems a little slow.
Johnson already with 2 catches on this drive. Off to kind of a fast start. Holmes has targeted the right side of the field all 3 attempts, completed 2 passes.
And he'll throw back again, and that's caught, but short gain. Johnson again. Johnson has 4 catches already, Tommy. You know, Tommy, it seems like every game the fan base here has a new toy to mess around with during the game.
Yes, right you are.
John Holmes in the pistol.
Brandon Marshall lined up at the bottom of your screen.
And that one's deflected and incomplete. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Cougar offense.
See, right guard right there, Marquise Pouncing needs to do a better job of sticking to his man so he can't go up and bat the ball down.
7's the receiver. 8's the receiver. 8's
And the clappers are being put to work as Holmes drops a throw. Looking, looks like he's just going to take off running, and he does, and he slides. After TJ Memphis gets up there to make a stop. And it's now 4th down.
So the Cougars will bring their punt formation on the field. So they bring in one more player.
Well, it looks like they're going to go for it, Tommy, on 4th down and 9. From their own 39-yard line. I don't know about this call early on in the game. There's just under 9 minutes to go.
There's still a lot of time in the game. Be a pooch kick. And it's a good one.
It just cut off.
And that one go out of bounds right at the 39. That one at the 39 and a half.
That was a punt of 18 yards. Good hang time.
So now the high-powered Cougar offense will come out on the field. We've seen a lot from them this year, having the time going back to the Hardin County game. Although it ended up in a loss, it showed a lot of athleticism and all kinds of different formations, put a lot of yards up on the board. Same thing with the Millington game. That pass is almost intercepted by Robert Anderson. And they'll hand to Exum right up the middle, makes a man miss. And he's got across the 50-yard line.
Offensive line had a good push against the Cougar defense. Go for about a 12-yard gain.
So Harden out of the shotgun on 1st down and 10. And he'll give to Exum up the middle. Exum on his feet and finally dragged down the 29-yard line by Jalen Taylor. So now 1st down and 10. And they'll give to Exum again. Up the middle, cuts up back upfield. And the ball stripped. I think Memphis Northside has it, Tommy.
And they do. So a good strip by Charles. What's that? Seemed to recover his own fumble.
So Woodson strip ends up in a Cougar turnover. Now Memphis Northside puts the ball back in John Holmes' hands. And that's incomplete. That was intended for J-Hell Kwanda Rose.
That will be Northside's first time out. They have 2 remaining. Looks like they're going to go over the upcoming play.
So Tommy, let's go back to that last play when John Holmes was looking for J-Hell Kwanda Rose on the side. And it looked like it was, I mean, they fit it in there just perfect. I mean, it was just a little high.
But just one good timing out of it. Holmes might have sailed it, but it was definitely a catchable ball by the receiver. But Roche, I think, definitely could have put another hand up there and gotten a hold of it.
You can continue to tell your sports and the Cougars are stopping by one of our special fans. Coming along with some of the
So John Holmes gets a snap, takes off 11 pitches, and it's a fumble. And couldn't be picked up by Nick Harper as he tried to pitch it to J-Hell Kwanda Rose.
Rose wasn't ready for the pitch and went past him, and Nick Harper over-pursued the ball and allowed Northside to recover. Northside's lucky Harper didn't pick that ball up and go run for a touchdown.
Yeah. Third and 19. Holmes gets a snap, looks over to his right, over the middle, he's got a man. No, he doesn't. Well, he threw it to a Cougar, just the wrong one. And that results in a complete pass, and that'll bring up 4th down and about 19. Rolls waits back around the 40-yard line.
Yeah, he'll scoot up to 35.
Okay, they tricked me. Carl Crawford boosts this one off. And that one rolls inside the 40. Looks like about the 39, so they'll set up the second drive where they did the first one.
Kevin Euclid down the ball at the 39.
Check that, tell me that was J-Ho Kwando Rose.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
So now first and 10 on 39. Harden under center, fakes the handoff, rolls to the right, throws over the middle. He's got a man wide open. That's Antonio Moore. And Moore still on his feet and finally dragged down by J-Ho Kwando Rose.
All the way down to the 5-yard line. A 66-yard hookup for Harden and Moore. And Munford will set up shop on the 5-yard line. Good field position.
Check that, Tommy. That was a 56-yard play.
Brandon, don't argue my math. They're on the 29-yard line to the 5.
Check that, Tommy. They were on the 39-yard line.
They were on the 29-yard line.
Harden rolls to the right. He's being pressured. He's just going to get rid of this one. And he throws it right to a Munford Cougar.
So Munford jumps out to a 6-0 lead. Tyler Gray will attempt the extra point. Has now missed all year. It is up and it is good.
So Carl Crawford and J-Ho Kwando Rose back deep to return. As Tyler Gray will kick this one off. And he kicks it. That one will go into the end zone. You know, that's not the first time we've seen him kick one in the end zone this year, Tommy.
Nope, it is his 17th touchback on the year. About 46% of his kickoffs end up in a touchback, which is a very good number for high school football. Gray's one of the best kickers / punters in the 15 county or in the Mid-South. Check that.
At least at the high school level.
Yes, indeed.
John Holmes gets the snap, throws, and incomplete. And take it from Calvin Johnson.
Megatron just couldn't pull it in that time.
Well, he's already got 5 catches, Tommy, and we're only halfway through the first quarter.
He's been targeted 8 times. They're definitely trying to get him the ball.
I would say mix it up a little bit, but
Practice code is a good option too.
what do I know? So odd formation isn't here. There's John Holmes throws back, and that one was also incomplete for Calvin Johnson again. So that's the 9th time they targeted him, Tommy. So I mean, what are they trying to do here early on?
I don't really think that they feel comfortable giving the ball to anybody else. I just feel like Calvin Johnson's their best player. They're trying to get him the ball as many times as possible in the early part of the game.
Right. And let's just be honest, they really don't have the depth that most teams have.
Yeah, with 13 players.
Holmes gets out of this one and he's hit and dropped.
Oh, you need a guy. Okay, you're the one that needs 1 player. And you got another team for 3 players.
So the second straight 3 and out for the Memphis Cougars offense. They'll punt it away. Be about 4th and a mile. Almost blocked by Nate Freese.
And Moore still on his feet. And finally shoved out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Good looking return by Moore on the play.
I just talked to Johnson and the clubhouse. We're going to have a beer ball. We need 1 player? Alright, I'll talk to Johnson about taking availability on 3 players.
So first down and goal for the Cougars. Munford, that is. Harden will fake this one and he'll roll, and I think he'll just take it on and run for 6.
Well, we kind of expected it early on in this game. Munford to probably jump out to an early lead. Let's see if Northside can respond with the score.
And Gray kicks this one off and into the end zone. 1st and 10, Memphis Northside.
It's a great night to play football tonight. Temperatures in the mid-70s, a slight breeze. Not a cloud in sight.
More than likely because it's dark, Tommy.
Yep, that's why.
I'm with you on that one. So John Holmes will come back out. Holmes gets the snap. Holmes throws, and that's deflected. You know, Tommy, if Tanner Weston doesn't deflect that, Nick Harper's going to take that back to the house on an interception.
Harper was in perfect position, so I don't doubt it unless he dropped it.
Let's go. Let's go.
So Holmes throws, and that's complete. Calvin Johnson, old Megatron over the middle, the 6th ball of the game.
Oh, we're meeting up.
Holmes to the ball into quadruple coverage. Dropped right in between 4 Munford Cougars defenders. And he's just be quiet.
I told him he's going.
You know, Tommy, we're famous up here, you know?
Yep, happens every now and then.
Man, that's picked off by TJ Plymouth. Plymouth on his feet. Holmes throws that one right to Plymouth, and Plymouth catches it.
Takes it back all the way to the 2-yard line as he is shoved out by Steve Hutchison.
Right guard for Ravens. Hutchison made a really good effort on getting downfield and making that tackle. That was easy 6 from the get-go.
Looked like Plymouth might have gotten in there for maybe that last cut.
So they'll hand to Weston straight up the middle, and nobody knew what was going on. Touchdown for Munford.
Ball is up and it is through. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 21-0. Munford over Memphis with 4:12 remaining in the first quarter. Well, Brandon, I expected Munford to win this game, but I expected it more to be more of a challenge than it's been so far.
And that's, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really expect it to be a challenge. You got to think, the team coming a couple hours from down the road with 13 men on your roster. I mean, come on.
Well, with the score standing as it is, Munford's on pace to win 84-0.
That might make the news tonight. Speaking of the news, I'm pretty sure the whole city body will be on the news tonight at News Channel 3 at 10 o'clock. Jim Jaggett was there today.
What was he doing, Brayden?
Well, he was doing the bike ride for Le Bonheur.
How much money did he raise?
About $2,000, I think.
How did Munford raise the money?
Tyler Gray to kick off. Let me guess, that one went in the end zone. I'm not even going to look. Well, Tommy, this is the ending day of homecoming week, which was a pretty good one. I guess you could say, the class of 2013. Myself being a part of the class of 2013, we pretty much rocked homecoming week this week. I don't think we really had any competition in anything.
Couldn't agree more with you. Especially with the ATOS competition.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got the school record for the ATOS championship. So I'm pretty fresh. So, yeah. Holmes carries, and we'll lose about 7 in the play. Or about 5, scratch that.
So Tommy, did you practice for the egg toss event?
No, I did not actually. Just natural ability, I guess.
Soft hands.
Soft hands, very soft hands.
Holmes goes back, and John Holmes couldn't quite pull out of that one in time as he gets wrapped up. I'm guessing he couldn't shoot because he was wrapped up. So second down and 23. Well, Tommy, I'm a little confused right now. It's either 3rd and 23, and they just punted it because they had no faith in the offense, or the scorekeeper's wrong.
I think the scorekeeper is wrong. I counted the 4th down right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not a bad punt by Steve Leckler on the play.
So, Tommy, you think there's a chance that we'll see some of the second, maybe the 3rd string players getting in tonight for Munford?
I think it's
not from Memphis North Side.
There is no 2nd string.
Exactly.
But I think it's just a little early for Munford to bring in their 2nd string.
Arden keeps this one. He's going to run, and he's on his horse. Is he in? No, just short. He couldn't quite get it in, Tommy. He was just short. Came up about a yard short of the goal line. Tackled by Lex Steele.
This Munford offensive line is just bulldozed over this Memphis defensive line. They have won the line of scrimmage the entire night.
And Exum walks in for 6.
So 2 plays on 45 yards. Munford has their 4th touchdown of the night. 22.5 yards to play on average. Only took about 23 seconds on the drive. And this one seems to be getting out of hand real fast.
I mean, there's really nothing much they can do. I mean, most of their team is playing on both sides of the football. So you're on the field for a while at one point.
Yeah, you bring up 2 good points. Munford just outclassed them all night. And, it's hard to do with the 13-man team without any damage at all. Brandon, you see that GMC out there by the road? The white one?
Yes, I do.
It's been getting pummeled tonight by Tyler Gray.
It has.
All those extra points.
Wouldn't be surprised if it left here with a couple of dents inside of it, wouldn't you say?
I definitely would not park my truck out there, let's just say that.
And we're back. Holmes rolls out to the left, being pressured. And brought down. Holmes drops back, throws over the right, and that's picked off by Terrell Mills.
Second turnover by Memphis. God bless your soul, Brandon.
That wasn't me.
Oh, my mistake. Sorry about that. That's been a guy in the crowd.
Hunter Hard now the shotgun, hands off to Harper, right up the middle, and Harper's got some speed. And he's still on his feet. And brought down at the 11-yard line.
Made a couple guys miss right there in that previous play. Spinned off a tackle. Brought down at the 10-yard line. With that carry, Munford has gone over the 220 rushing yards tonight.
Harper gets another carry. And he's brought down after a couple. He's touchdown, Munford.
Kind of saw that coming. You ran.
You know what time I did? I did see that coming.
Memphis has not had an answer for Munford offense all night long. This one has turned ugly, 35-0. Even in the first quarter.
Well, 34-0, but don't count on Gray missing this.
Right through the middle. With that extra point, Munford's on pace to win 140-0.
Gay will kick this one off.
I believe his name is Gray. Brandon.
I said Gray.
Oh,
Hey Tommy, guess what? This game is brought to you by JT's Burgers and Wings. Well, Tommy, guess what Gray just did?
What do you do?
Took another touchback.
Let me guess. Touchback.
Yeah, you're right. Another touchback. So that's what, 5 tonight? No?
I think that's 5. Yeah, it's be his 21st touchback of the year.
22nd.
No, he started with 17 tonight. And if you add 17 to 5,
it's
make it
22.
22. Yes, Brandon. You're right,
Holmes throws, and that's off the hands of Brent Ray. Check that, Brinson. Tommy, do I see 2 number 8s for Memphis Northside?
No, I think you're blind.
8 and 9.
I think that's an 8 and a 9.
Okay, we're getting word it's an 8 and a 9. Throw that one in. Johnson slips up. This is the perfect night to get your unexperienced guys some experience, wouldn't you say, Tommy?
Yeah, especially your underclassmen who haven't had much playing time this year. It's a great way to get them in the game, get them some experience, and hopefully get them ready for future games.
Right. Oh, yeah.
All right, folks, that will be the end of the first quarter with the score Munford 35, Memphis 0. We'll get back to the second quarter right after these messages.
So the score, as Tommy has already it's 35-0.
Bob says it's coming up with arrows.
So Rick Steele punts this one away. And he's brought down by TJ
Hushmanzada.
TJ
Hushmanzada.
TJ, who's your mama?
No, it's like Hushmanzada.
Hushmanzada.
Yes. The guy's a doctor.
So House Missouri brings him down.
CJ Spiller checks in for the game. Into the game.
Oh, man, what you saying?
carry. Ball is off to the 39-yard line. Second down for the Cougars.
Yeah, it's long.
Harper off the middle. To the inside for Lundy.
Some long hands at the Harper to the right.
Made DeMarcus Ware miss a tackle.
Hey, make sure you get Mike after the game. When Michael runs his touchdown, make sure y'all get that on camera. Mike Foster. Because
Getting some noise from the north side bench.
Like needed. Make sure you hit it though. That was my one job. No, he does it at the end of the game. Okay? Did you hear me? Make sure you get Michael Foster on camera when he runs his touchdown.
Outside, asking outside the game. On our spot, we're going to come up quickly. You need to pay attention. We're going to switch warm up. And let's do a good job tonight. Yes, sir. Guys, y'all are qualified to do a good job tonight. You have to do it. Jobby.
Ray Lewis got in the backfield really quick. Made the tackle for a loss of 3 on the play.
What's Kyle said we're gonna lose?
They need to do the two favorite things. They don't have their hats on
Who's the kicker? Number 68.
So Tyler Gray doesn't kick the extra point, number 68. I don't know who it is. Misses the extra point. So Munford's up 41-0. With just over 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. Tyler Gray will kick off though. No, I think that's Adam Vincentelli.
Oh. I think it's Tyler Gray. And in the end zone.
Chris Rainey was back for Memphis.
touchback on the
Take on the top.
No, just because he plays with.
He's good.
Chris Reed's good too. That's good.
And a flag comes in.
against the offense. Penalty is declined. This penalty was a
Hey, did Munford not make that field goal?
The extra point, no.
Oh, so they didn't make it? Oh.
Somebody say Coach Johnson. Y'all are breaking in this game.
So another player checks in from Munford, John Reagan, a senior from Munford, his first time on the playing field this year.
Other than playing on the special teams unit, Tommy?
Yes, of course.
After the club.
So, Brandon, what has been your key to Munford's success tonight? What have they done tonight?
They have pretty much just dominated in all aspects of the game.
But what part specifically have they not quite the score I had predicted before the game. What about you, Brandon?
Not, at least not in, just halfway to go in the second quarter.
What did you think the score would be?
Well, we're sitting at 47-0 right now, Tommy. I was thinking maybe 47-0, close around this at maybe at the end of the game, not 6 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Really, dude, I had something completely different. I had Munford squeezing out a last-minute field goal, 3-2.
Well, Tommy, that just explains how you live your life on the edge.
So I put $1,000 on this game.
We'll be walking out of here pleased tonight, I bet.
Well, Memphis better get going soon.
You know, it's crazy to see, but it's possible. Munford's hung 47 here in the first half. I mean, why not?
Right you are. Very unlikely, though.
Well, like we were saying earlier, Tom, it's just hard to come in with the depth that they have. They're coming in, what, 13 players on the team?
Yeah. I expected a better performance by John Holmes.
John Holmes has been coming along.
I really cannot, honestly, not see it. Where? I let that pass. All right, so Memphis Northside will go 3 and out again, and they'll kick it away.
Came off on that one. Because that's Muff, I think, picked it back up. Yeah, Muff will have it.
And that could have been a huge momentum swing if Memphis gets the ball there. Unfortunately, they didn't. Munford was set up shot the 47-yard line.
They haven't exactly called all the breaks tonight, wouldn't you say, Tony?
Their third string's in. So yeah.
On the carry will be run down at the 15-yard line. First down for the Cougars. Another Olympic point to beat the first down. Inside the 10-yard line. All be marked. That's a 6-yard line. Coming down with 1 to go for the Cougars. Reacts badly with my arthritis medicine. Badly.
3:21 to go. Giovanni and Rudiaga again for the extra point. Hunter Miller is the holder. 56, Nick Lane, the deep snapper. Last down before the snap.
I'm getting tired.
Number 11, you think they
Procedure, the call against the Cougars. Rudiaga will pick up again. And it is no good. Three 21 to go until halftime.
Isn't that like a mercy rule?
In the kickoff, number 60, Rudiaga. Tackle was made at the 25-yard line, and a host of Cougars here on the tackle. The north side is 2 to go till halftime. We'll take over with the first and
ran like 100 yards.
thought kind of getting into it.
Homecoming took me away.
The middle inside the 30-yard line. And a little under skate and beat the first down.
Ladies and gentlemen, whoever is listening to this game, the Munford baseball team is hosting a golf tournament tomorrow morning at Forest Hill Golf Course at 8 a.m. The golf tournament is $75 per person. We are playing in teams of 4, so that is $300 a team. Y'all could divide up the money however you want. So let me remind you at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning at Forest Hill Golf Course.
Stephen Brandley on the gear, and then we walk down at the 20-yard line. The Cougars would also like to thank Cougars Pharmacy, Billington Telephone and Cable, and Bill McGowan and Company. Thank you for your continued support of the Munford Cougars. Ball worked up to 21 line for us, second down, 2 for the Cougars.
Blast off.
And that's the end of the first half.
All right, so at halftime it is 6:53-0 Munford. We'll see you after the half. Thank you. Good night.
I was waiting to see where they're going to land.
Oh,
the snap, we're going crazy, okay?
Going crazy how?
Yeah.
Stupid crazy? What did y'all do while we all were out?
I'm too hyper for this.
So that was Ray on the carry.
First down.
So ladies and gentlemen, we are back out here in the second half. We're having a 6-minute running clock per quarter here. Third quarter and fourth quarter are both 6 minutes. Time running no matter what.
What happens if they call a timeout, Brandon?
Time stops, I would guess.
Actually, it doesn't.
Tommy, let's just broadcast this game, okay?
You know what? That sounds like a great idea.
So after the 21-yard pickup, it's first down and 10 from Munford. The pitch goes to the right.
Breaks the tackles, breaks another tackle, and makes all the way down to the 3-yard line. A huge gain on the play of 37. Wow! 2 tackles, spins off another, and wow, just cannot stress enough how great of a run that was. Brand, what did you think?
I mean, he showed great agility right there, Bob.
Bob? Who's this Bob guy?
Yeah. Wow, what did you do? A beef.
I meant to knock him down.
Oh, you meant to hurt him.
That was too sad. So Malone gets the snap, hands off, and touchdown. See ya.
We don't want to be that'll give Munford 59-0. And after Johnny misses his field goal, it'll still be 59-0.
Tommy, they had me fooled at that first strip that they had. You know when I'm talking about back in the first quarter when Northside had the strip and actually was moving the ball down the field pretty efficiently. And well, as you can see, it just went way downhill from there.
You know, man, I can't really remember because that's so many points ago.
That was a whole 59 points ago. And he knocks through the extra point about time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, your score, 60, Munford, 0. The other Cougars.
This game brought to you by Pain Clean Car Wash.
Have it your way. This game is also brought to you by Lumber Liquidators.
We don't sell commodes.
We sell hardwood floors.
And it's a spiraling kick. You don't ever see that. Up, right down. Picks it up at his 2. And brings it
He's
up.
got some daylight.
Well, breaks a couple tackles and slung down.
And that hole just closed up out of nowhere, it seems. Munford special team just did a great job of filling in the gap there and just making sure that he did not go any further. What did you think of that play, Brandon?
Well, you couldn't have said it any better.
I'm probably good at it in Spanish or...
So now we're approaching a minute to go in the third quarter. Oh, Croy. Going from the game.
That ball is picked off.
I don't believe it. Munford has the ball again.
Ben Price on the interception, a sophomore out of Drummond, Tennessee. Lives 4 houses down from me.
Seems to be some kind of scurry, and that'll be the end of the third quarter. With our score, Munford 60, Memphis Northside 0.
First, I think no.
There you go.
Unbreakable.
And with that carry, ladies and gentlemen, Munford has gone over the 400-yard rush mark. Came in tall.
Chad
Durbin.
Chad Durbin is a relief pitcher for the Braves.
And what city are the Braves in, Brandon?
Milwaukee, Atlanta.
Who won the... Actually, they moved to Atlanta in 1968, in case you were wondering.
Okay. So, Tommy, we're going to go on a little trivia here.
All right, let's see.
Today won the World Series in 1933.
Dude, 1933, clearly it was the New York Giants, okay?
Correct you are. We're now in NFL football.
Yes. Who won the Super Bowl in 2011? Incorrect.
Pancake.
Okay, Annie Lekuki Kapieki.
We're approaching 4.5 minutes ago in the game.
I remember that game get over with.
Wait, get home. Get home.
Go get a golf cart and make her tomorrow.
What?
Go get a golf cart and make tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Get going in the morning.
You want to come over tomorrow and we
I'm along like a gamer.
Yeah, I want to come over tomorrow.
Ain't got apple making quarterback and eat. And cookie ain't going. No,
yeah, flag count up there.
Get her. I'm talking.
Okay.
I can make me geek.
I like it.
I know you are.
I'm gay at her.
So we're remaining 60 to nothing here in Munford, Tennessee.
Not so fast. It's first and goal like a 15-yard line. Hey Brandon, you know what's a bad sign about games like this? It's bad when the band is practicing during the middle of a real game. Wouldn't you say so?
You know, Tommy, this game is official. Of course, we're both know it. We'll go down in the books. However, it just seems like it hasn't been there at all.
Yeah, I mean, Memphis just has not had the fire that Munford has had tonight.
Go after making go, man. If you're going to go. Yeah, ugly. Come on, where's the combat bar? Come on, get up.
Watch it, this band is getting into it. That will be the final today's game.
Ladies and gentlemen, that'll be the final today.
Munford wins 60-0. Brandon, stop copying me.
We'll be back next week with Brighton. Stay tuned next week. And so on, folks. Brandon Young and Tommy Smith here from Munford, Tennessee. Tell me, that was the fastest second half I've ever seen in my life.
Literally. It's only 12 minutes long. Munford will play Brighton next week.
And there's Michael Foster, the captain of the team that runs straight through the end zone.